All right, let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Matt Zaffino. Matt, get us up to speed on the winds there now and what is expected tonight and into tomorrow.
All right, Blair, those winds are still raging. They are beginning to back off in some areas, but not everywhere. Here are the current sustained winds. Look at these winds at Ontario and San Bernardino, over 20 miles an hour. It doesn't sound that bad, right? They are light at LAX. They're light at Burbank right now. But if you look at the gusts, they're still gusting well over 30 miles an hour. And these are at mainly valley locations. Up in the mountains, we're still getting gusts up 40, 50 miles an hour and even stronger. So that is the problem. Those winds coming out of the canyons and fueling the fires and then starting new fires as you get embers being transported by those strong winds, then landing in dry areas that hadn't burned and starting new fires. That's been happening tonight. Here's the wind forecast, and you can see it begins to back off. This is tonight. The winds are mainly going to be confined to the mountainous areas up in the San Gabriel Mountains there north of LA. And then they pick up a little bit again on Thursday, but down in the valleys, they'll be a lot later. So there is a little bit of good news there. So what are the Santa Ana winds? How do they form? Well, it starts with high pressure cold air east of the Sierra Nevada mountains, like over in Nevada, right? That air funnels through the mountains and it gets compressed and warms as it descends down towards the deserts where the air dries out even more. Then it makes its way through the very complicated terrain north of Los Angeles and squeezes through excuse me, those canyons. Dry air getting in my throat right now. Squeezes through the canyons there, and that's what causes these Santa Ana winds. Now, this event was a little bit different. It was compounded by very strong winds aloft. That just made all of the winds stronger and really, really tough to predict and tough to get away from. It was really widespread. Oftentimes, the Santa Anas are confined to what they call the Santa Ana corridors down there, where the winds really funnel through certain gaps in the terrain. This was more widespread, certainly yesterday. Now, look how far offshore the smoke has been blown, hundreds of miles out to sea by these strong Santa Ana winds. These are clouds, the brighter white. This is the smoke here. And this was earlier in the day. We've seen more fires develop since then. So if you're planning on or had been planning on traveling to Southern California, they're saying there have been delays at the airports. So right now, none of the 5 LA airports or Palm Springs are showing any delays at all. But I would definitely check your flights if you plan on flying to Southern California in the next day or so. We still have red flag warnings for fire weather conditions across much of the Southland here. We'll zoom in a bit and show you just the fire weather warnings. And then this is an air quality alert down in Los Angeles County, right? This continues the fire weather warning now in some areas until Friday night because these winds won't die down, and the wind advisory continuing at least until 10 o'clock tonight. So it's a bit brutal. But the pattern is shifting a bit. So the winds are going to change enough that these winds should be confined more and more, Blair, to more localized areas. But there may be more Santa Ana events coming up in the days ahead. We're still going to maintain the offshore flow in Southern California, even though it'll improve a little bit tomorrow. We may not see any really big widespread improvement until we get into the weekend, Blair.
All right, Matt, thank you for that.